Evening, good evening. We're here today to talk about small ruminants, and we come to look at a urban farm. Actually in an apartment complex. You would not believe this. Mr. Hansen. This is Mr. Hansen.
Okay, good evening everyone.
Alright, so Mr. Hansen now is a chef by profession, am I correct?
Yes, I am.
Right, he's a chef by profession, and I come to look at his little homestead farm. You know, one of the things is that I'm doing, I'm encouraging everybody to have a little backyard farming with whichever animals. You know, you can plant vegetables, fruit trees and so forth. You know, do anything and make sure that you're all producing some food in your backyard. So I come today to have a look at Mr. Hansen's homestead farm. Right, so he rears rabbits, he has chickens, he has anything else?
No,
That's
just
what I
rabbits.
see. And then he has, if as we walk in through his backyard and look in here, you know, he has bananas and, you know, pineapple and custard apple. Wow, look at that custard apple. Very nice custard apple tree. And he has all his little gardens here, sweet sap tree. And when you look in his backyard, he has, you know, sour sap, and he has noni and a lot of fruit trees. I noticed he had another plum around there. But while I was passing and looking right here in his backyard, this is his slaughter facility, where a little homemade slaughter. You can see he has some legs right there. He ties the rabbits here and slaughter them for his home use. So he's providing protein for his family right here in his backyard, and you know, feeds his rabbits and forages, and he also feeds them with grains and so forth. So let us have a look now, and he will tell us about his farm, and we can have a look at some of the rabbits. He has some nice animals here. If you look, you know, he has all different kind of color, and I guess he's gonna talk so much quickly about some of what you have here. So if you look at his cage seal, he uses board and billet with mesh, and he has you know, he has a kind of drop floor here. When the feces drop out, it run on a zinc and go to the back of his cage, and then he cleans it. There's actually no smell here in this backyard. As you know, you can see this is all just a little homemade setup with many different rabbits here. But what is interesting, what kind of rabbits you have here? If you can quickly tell me.
I mostly have New Zealand and California.
Mainly have New Zealand and California, but these rabbits look so big. These are what? That Flemish?
No, these are New Zealand. Yes, what happened is that I basically get this one from a friend.
You right?
Who will bring it in the island for me, and the male is over on the other section.
Right.
So these are just offspring from
the New Zealand. So you have New Zealand and California.
Yes.
Okay. So these are like your grow out pens here.
No, that's my grow pen. These are mostly what breeders. As you can see, there's a mother with kids here.
Right, see a mother there with some young ones inside there.
I want to open this cage.
So, I mean, you seem like you have a lot. About how many rabbits you have here?
Well, the last check I checked, I have over 60 rabbits now.
Right. You know, in this backyard farm, he has over 60 rabbits. And this is just homemade stuff. Everything just made out of simple material, the zinc sheeting, everything. We had rain today, and you know, all the rabbits are dry, you know, in this homemade environment. So this is one of your grow pens.
One of my grow pens.
Okay. So
These.
he uses a little automatic feeder here.
Ooh,
You know,
actually.
they use a little feeder where he just drops it, and he makes this himself too. You can see that he made these feeders.
Myself.
Right. He uses a zinc sheeting and make his own feeders. And the feeding just go inside there, and you know, they eat from it. And you have what? You use water jugs.
Yeah.
Or he feeds his animals with water and so forth. Look at that little one sucking right there. Look there. Look at that. Look, shh, look at the baby drinking the milk. Wow. No, the mommy might not want you to pick it up. This is nice, don't it? You see how the babies drink the milk from the mommy?
I want to pet these.
So these babies are now drinking the milk from the teat. That's how they drink the milk.
And those babies are basically 10 years old.
These young ones, what, 10 days old? Okay. This look like a checkered kind of color though, or is there?
Yeah, so that's a checkered breed.
Very nice.
people know, how do you know the breed? If either
just-
Flemish Giant or
It's by knowing just
No,
part.
what happened? I only have a pair of Flemish Giants here.
Come and look
There
over
are
here,
one
sir.
over here.
So you just use a canvas on top of this?
like
Yes.
how to identify which breed?
This one here is a Flemish Giant, baby. Here.
Why would you say it's a Flemish Giant?
Well, basically, the difference between the head, one snout is more narrow and one is more rounder than the other. So there's a huge difference. One have a little bigger ears and a much bigger head.
Got you.
So this one is Flemish and the other one
This
is
is New Zealand,
New Zealand. The Flemish have rounder head.
rounder
Not
head.
right. Okay, buddy. You're burning some fire. Pick up you.
Which one you want to pick up? Go on, take one of them.
This one. You back. Other. Now let's see which one I want. This one maybe? Oh, you don't like that. Go back in. I want this one. I haven't got this yet. You won. Got you.
So you don't have any problem to market the rabbit.
Basically, I currently have 3 pet shops which I supply. 2 in Kingston, 1 in Clarendon. And the demand is pretty high. Sometimes I do not have the amount of customers. I basically source from other farmers within my group and fill my demand.
One of the things that in talking to Mr. Hansen is he has a very unique fruit feeding program, and it's very interesting to listen to his feeding program, and I want him to tell everybody how he feeds his animals.
Basically, I give 1 sausage tin.
So one of the things is that he's going to show now is that this is what he uses to feed his rabbit. Every day he
I
gives them
give 1 of this
1 sausage tin
to a grown adult,
to an adult, and this is a rabbit weighing about what, 10 pounds?
over 10 pounds.
10 to 12 pounds.
Basically, if they're nursing mothers, I give them 2. If they're pregnant, 1.5. If they're not, 1. And that kind of keep the weight that I'm looking for.
So he doesn't want his rabbit to get too fat, so he keeps them at a certain weight, and he wants them to be in a certain condition. So he makes sure that all his rabbits, and if you look at his rabbits, they're all looking very good condition with with his feeding program. But these are nursing mothers you have here?
Yes, these are nursing mothers, except for that one over there. That one is a male.
Okay,
And all 3 here are pregnant right now.
okay. So when they are pregnant, you give them a little more?
Give them 1.5.
1.5 for pregnant mothers. Okay. And you also seem to have a recording system here.
Yes, I
Okay.
do have a recording system.
So you record
the-
keeping
Yes, I do record keeping.
electronically or manually?
Well, basically, I used to use hutch, but I have no internet to do that, so I basically write manually now.
Okay, so you do it manually now. And one of the things is that you have to really do record keeping when you're doing rabbit rearing, because the breeding is so much, and to rely on your memory to do things that can become very complicated.
Yes.
So we have to do record keeping and make sure you trace everything that is happening so that you can avoid inbreeding.
Yeah.
So you give them 1 cup and then you give them water every day.
Every day.
Right. Right now you're not feeding with forages.
No, right now I'm not feeding with forages. Mainly, I would have to travel from where I live to Narbrook to get forage.
Right.
With my current schedule right now, I do not have the time for that, so I just strictly commercial feed.
Right. Okay. Very, very nice. I can tell you this. This is one of the simple rabbit hutch setup that I have been to, and what really fascinates me, I must tell you, is the sausage can of feeding that you give the rabbits every day. that really fascinates me because
Yes,
I never
basically.
control my feed. I always just put them in a
Well,
automatic
for
feeder.
my growths, I have give them continuous feed. Basically, I'm looking for a certain amount of weight within a certain amount of time, so I just give them feed straight.
So at what age now? Give me an idea of the weight. At 4 weeks.
Well, at 4 weeks, I can get up to 5 pounds from a 4 weeks rabbit. Basically, I go up to 3 months, and for 3 months, I can get up to 7 pounds from a rabbit.
Right. Okay. So you are, and this is with the California and the New Zealand, right?
Yes.
And what kind of litter size you're having with your rabbits?
Well, basically, right now, I have like 7, 8. The smallest I have for this season is 5 so far.
Okay.
But normally, most of my rabbit give me like 10 kids.
Okay. Do you plan for expansion, or this is where you're going to keep it?
No, well, I'm planning on going a little bit bigger. Within the coming month, I'm basically gonna redo some of this structure and do mostly hang cage, where I can have 3 stocks instead of 2, and get some more rabbits in. Because now my demand for rabbits, I can't meet them, so I have to make preparation for that demand.
This is what I'm hearing around the place everywhere, that the demand for rabbit meat is kind of increasing in Jamaica. I don't understand why. Why is there this increase in rabbit meat in Jamaica? Especially in this COVID time, I was kind of very surprised. I'm been hearing this.
From my knowledge, it's a very unusual meat for people, and most of my customers, they are trying it for the very first time. So I guess people are actually hearing more about the benefits of rabbit and the high protein level of rabbit meat. And rabbit meat is basically 95% organic meat. There are no hormones like chicken, but people,
It's low in cholesterol.
It's low in cholesterol,
Yes.
and it's not that high in fat as well. It's a very, very lean meat. And at the end of the day, if you know what you're doing with the meat, it's very nutritious and tasty.
You know how to cook all the different kind of rabbits.
Yes,
dishes
basically,
and so forth.
I have a process machine at work. Some more time, I actually process the rabbit and make either burgers or sausage for my kids when I do have the time.
Okay.
So
That is very, very nice. Very
I
nice.
try to incorporate rabbit meat in every area or food preparation I can.
Okay. Okay, that's nice. Well, it is very nice to come and see your homestead farm here. We are in Kingston. We might take a look some more around and see what's happening here. But you know, you can see that he has a well-managed operation. He has it down to a science. His feed is under control. His breeding is under control because he does proper record keeping. He has his hutch keep dry. The rain just pouring. As simple as you look, see all of the structure. The feeding is dry. The hutches are dry. Everything. It's really, really very nice operation. So you clean this every day.
Well, basically, I do deep cleaning like 2 times for the week.
2 times.
And I sanitize. Rabbit basically do not need a lot of space to survive. For me, I raise rabbit in a small space. One
That
of my
space,
cages,
it looks like about maybe 15 feet and
Yeah.
maybe about by 10.
my space is 20 feet by 10, and each one of my cages is 24 by 24. And I do a lot of rabbits out of that, and that basically you
That
don't need a
small
lot
space,
of space.
he's able to support himself and his family. Now, isn't that great? And that is why some of these things are so important, to continue our urban farming. So one of the things that we were here discussing is the best time to breed rabbits.
Well, the best time for me to breed rabbits is anytime after 9 in the evening.
In the
or
night?
In the night. Or anytime rains fall.
Like
Cooler
now?
yes, like now. The cooler the climate, the more fertile the male becomes.
So one of the things that happens is that when the males are stop. One of the things is that when the time is cool, the sperm count is much higher in the rabbit. And because that sperm count is so high, you'll get a large litter size. So rabbit breeding, when I used to breed rabbit, I used to come out at 11 o'clock in the night and go out there and breed all the rabbits. And they are nocturnal also.
Nocturnal.
Yes, they are
Rabbit
nocturnal.
more active at night.
They are
than
very
day.
active at night than in the day.
They spend most of the day sleeping. Basically.
Right. And they'll eat a lot at night and you know, do all kind of things in the night. So that's the best time really to breed them at night. And they love the cool environment. You know what I found? I reared my rabbit under a tree, under a mango tree. And it was so cool. It almost was dark under that. They like the darkness.
They like the darkness.
They don't like too much light. And I reared them under a mango tree that was always cool. And I got very good results. When you put them outside and the sun hitting the roof and it's very hot, they don't breed as well. That's something to note with rabbits.
Where my cage is located, the sun basically rises there in the morning. So they spend most of the time sleeping. So I have to do my breeding at night where I get better results. I used to do it like 6 in the morning, and most of my litters are like 3, 2, sometimes 1, sometimes false pregnancy. And I basically do some more research and realize there's a farm in Florida who basically keep their males in an air-conditioned room.
Yes.
Then I said, okay, then if I can breed when the temperature is cooler, then I will get better results, and I do get better results. So my result basically I push like within a 6-week period, I push out like 60 rabbits.
Right.
Basically in a 6-week period. To I supply 3 pet stores, and within a 6-week period, I can supply my pet stores.
Mr. Hansen, you were laid off from your job for a little while
Yeah, I got laid off for a year
because of COVID.
because of COVID.
Okay, so you're a chef in one of the hotels.
Yes, I worked as a chef from I was 17 years old.
Oh, from you're
So-
17 years old, you have been a chef.
Yes.
Okay.
So what happened is that after I got laid off, I didn't have any source of funds.
No
So-
income.
No income. So my rabbits was basically my income. The house that I live in, my rent is like over $35,000, and my rabbit can bring in that I can pay my rent every month.
So you were able to support your family and live,
Live without
probably not comfortably, but
Not
live
comfortable,
and
but-
carry through your life, pay your rent and pay your bills
yeah,
off his rabbit.
off my rabbit.
This is having about between 60 to 80 rabbits. He had the infrastructure already with 60 to 80 rabbits, and he was able to support his family with these rabbits in Kingston, in an apartment complex in Kingston 8, and he was able to support his family. And I think you have a wife and how many children?
Yeah, I have a wife and 4 kids.
You have the 4 kids here?
Yes, I do.
So he has a wife and 4 kids and support his family. Your wife work though?
Yeah, my wife works.
Oh, so she
But-
was helping too with some of the bills.
She was basically helping out with the kids,
Okay.
but I have to fit the bigger bill.
The bigger bill. Okay,
So-
that is good to hear.
But at the end of the day, when you do have somebody who gives you support,
Yes.
that is one of the main things.
Yes, and that's
Because
why the wife is very
The
important.
wife
that
is very
support you.
important.
Yes, right,
Because if it wasn't for her, I would basically give up long time.
right.
So
One of the-
support is good from.
One of the things that I'm always telling people, we should all have our little homestead farm. No matter where you are or what you're doing, farming is so important to us, because when everything else fails, our farming life will never fail, because you're going to always be producing food to feed your family, and you can sell the excess as you go along. Thanks for that bit of information. He has invited me over a week now to come to his farm, and I'm very happy to have seen this operation. And I know any of your viewers out there, if you want any information or you want to come and see his farm, or you want to learn from him, or you want to buy some stock from him, he's here. And he's here to offer his help because we all want to grow together. Thanks so much for subscribing to my channel. Please continue to watch and thumbs up.